Hi everyone, I'm Pengzheng Xia from Beijing University of Post and Communications. Very glad to share our work here. Title of our paper is Trick or Trick, Detecting and Characterizing Scam Tokens on Uniswap Decentralized Exchange. Let's begin with our background first. Now it's easy to create tokens on Ethereum with tools and templates. In many cases, users only need to provide name, symbol, total supply of the token, and the building tool will deploy the token automatically. Besides, there are no restrictions on tokens' names and symbols, and our previous work shows that there are a large number of fake tokens on Ethereum, like HT tokens in the figure. Due to the decentralized nature of cryptocurrencies, there is a need for exchanges with no central authorities involved, and that's why decentralized exchanges are born. They do not store funds or personal data on their servers and operate through smart contracts automatically. There are multiple kinds of DEX. First generation is order-based. They try to match buyers and sellers based on their bids. Another kind of DEX is based on AMM, the automated market maker. Users do not trading with each other directly, but trading against liquid pools instead. AMM use mathematical formula to calculate token price. Next, we take a deep look at AMM DEX. In AMM DEX, users trade against liquid pools, which is the trading venue for a pair of ERC-20 tokens. One can create liquid pool that does not exist by interacting with DEX contracts. After the pool is created, the user can add liquidity by depositing the pair of two tokens in the pool, and he will receive liquidity provider tokens, LP tokens for short. When a trade occurs, the user first sends tokens to the pool, then the pool will calculate the exchange rate based on the constant product, and send back to the target tokens. The liquidity provider could also remove liquidity from the pool by burning their LP tokens and receive the pair of tokens based on the total supply in the pool. Among all AMM DEX, Uniswap is the leading decentralized exchange. It is built to facilitate automated exchange transaction between Ether and ERC-20 tokens. Uniswap has updated 3 versions of independent protocols. By study time, Uniswap v2 remains the most popular one, so we focus on the second version in the paper. The growing popularity of Uniswap is continuing to attract scammers. It was reported that some scam cryptocurrencies impersonate token sales for popular projects. For example, in 2020, the upcoming DeFi lending protocol Tether Finance tweeted that a fake Tether token and the scam Uniswap pool had been created, and many users were cheated. Although these scams are found, there lacks a systematic study on the scale and the impacts of scam tokens on Uniswap, so that's the goal of our work here. Here shows the data collection process. We utilize the Graph and the Gas API to collect the basic data. The Graph API is used to collect Uniswap events like mint, burn, and swap operations. The Gas API is used to collect transaction information related to Uniswap. We have collected all the data from May 5th to December 6th in 2020, and the table shows an overview of our dataset. There are over 20 million events, 20,000 tokens, and 20,000 pools by study time. Let's look at the overview of Uniswap. After 3 months launch, there are roughly 100 liquid pools created on Uniswap daily. After August 7th, the daily volume exceeded $100 million, and the liquidity of Uniswap reached 3.4 billion on November 13th. This suggests Uniswap have a large number of tokens and has become a prosperous trading environment. However, there are some issues of Uniswap. We find that over 90% of the pools have a value of less than $1. The top 1% liquid pools occupy over 65% of the transaction events. We also find over 70% of investors only involved in swap events, and 45 addresses interactive with only one pool. Uniswap have many low liquidity pools, and there are many inexperienced investors, which can lead to scams. Here we look at a motivating example of scam tokens. On November 2020, a blockchain celebrity announced his new project DairySwap at about 5 a.m. So an attacker created a fake direct swap token at 6.7. At 6.10, the scammer created the scam pool and provides liquidity with 70 Ether. About 60 victims fallen in this scam. The attacker removed liquidity for over 160 Ether at 6.25. The whole process lasted about 20 minutes and the attacker earned over 90 Ether. It is a common type of rug pull scam, in which scammers fool the victims to invest in the scam tokens and then drain the money of the pools. We developed a reliable approach to identify such scam tokens. The overall workflow is shown in the figure. The ground truth labeling component is used to collect normal tokens and most reliable scam tokens. Ghost by association component is used to enlarge our labeled scam token dataset based on two heuristics. Machine learning-based detection and verification component is used to identify more scam tokens based on the features learned from our labeled dataset. We use a strict verification strategy to only label reliable scam tokens. Note that the expanding component is further applied to newly identified scam tokens and produce the final results. First is ground truth labeling. We first collect the list of popular tokens from ranking list on CoinMarketCap and Etherscan. Through this, we label over 2,000 official tokens. For scam tokens, we find over 4,000 fake tokens that imitate names or symbols of the official ones, and collect 31 more scam tokens tagged as malicious on Etherscan. Besides scam tokens we label, for other tokens or pools created by scam creators, they are likely to be scam tokens as well. We call this strategy guilt by association, and we develop two ways to expand for more scam tokens. The first is expansion based on scam token creators. Let's see an example. This scam token FLM is created by the scam creator, and the creator also created other tokens. These tokens could also be scam tokens. Based on scam pool creators, we also developed a similar way. If a scam pool was created by scam pool creator, and the creator also created other tokens, then these tokens could also be scams. Based on the two heuristics, we expand 2,424 tokens in the first heuristic and 24 tokens in the second heuristic. Then we use a comprehensive set of features to train a scam token classifier to detect more scam tokens. We will introduce part of the features, and you can refer to our paper for more details. The first is time series features. Commonly, a scam token could only be active in a short period. For example, the fake sushi token was active for only 1 day, while the sand token is still active now. Then are the transaction features. Still look at this example. A normal token tends to have more transactions than the scam token. For the investor features, the scam token may attract many inexperienced investors. These investors usually interact with few pools, while experienced investors usually invest many tokens and will avoid scam tokens. The last is Uniswap specific features. Scam tokens often have a low liquidity and volume, while normal tokens will operate actively. We have tried different kinds of models, and the random forest model achieves the best result. The tenfold cross validation suggests the high accuracy of our approach, and our classifier flags over 11,000 tokens as potential scam tokens. We next used a strict verification strategy to label the most reliable scam tokens. First, we found many of the flag tokens shared identical token names with each other. For example, there are many tokens named as ball.finance or yan.finance, which are known DeFi projects. We group tokens based on names and symbols and flag over 3,000 tokens. Second, we observe many tokens impersonate to be tokens released by popular brands like TikTok and Google. We search for these tokens, manually inspect them, and label 316 tokens. By applying aforementioned guilt-by association expansion to these 3,000 tokens, we obtain 674 more tokens. In summary, we labeled over 4,000 scam tokens in ground truth labeling and expand 2,000 more tokens in expansion. We verify over 3,000 scam tokens by machine learning and found 600 scam tokens in the second expansion. In total, we found over half of all the tokens on Uniswap are scam tokens. Their total volume reaches over $365 million, involving over 88,000 addresses and 659,000 transactions. 88% of scams happens in one day, and 37% of scams even happen in 1 hour. Also, we find some other tricks are combined with rug pulls. First is pump dump like tricks. Pump and dump are well studied in the previous literature. It happens when attackers raise the token price and then sell all the tokens they hold. In the case of Uniswap, some attackers swap scam tokens using ethers on Uniswap to create fake price and volume. After victims are attracted due to the token price, attackers could then perform the rug pull for profit. This is the real case. The attacker in this figure swapped 150 Ether for the fake Radix token and make the price almost doubled. We found pump and dump tricks in 93% pools. Besides, 433 scammers are found to perform second round scams. It happens when scammers finish the first rug pull and add liquidity to the same pool for another round of scam. Further, we find some backdoors in scam token contracts. First, the token creators could claim they do not hold any tokens they created to gain users' trust. However, some creators design freely mint tokens to add token balance deliberately. Look at this example. The contract set a modifier to enable the address to exit the mint function deliberately. The address adds a huge amount of tokens and swap them for 473 ethers. We search for the open source contracts which have modifiers in their mint function and manually inspect them. At last, we find over roughly 300 freely mint tokens. Some attackers want their victims not to escape from the scams. They design sell restrict token to prevent them from selling scam tokens. This VLP swap is an example. It has a modifier that allows all the users to buy the token, while only allows the owner to sell them. That's why in transaction history, we only see the owners sell scam tokens for profit, but we don't see any other people selling tokens. Through the same way we perform on freely mint tokens, we find 373 sell restrict tokens. Besides gaining a profit from rug pulls, some attackers have designed advanced fee tokens to charge a fee when users send transactions. For example, each time a user swaps the pirate token, he will be charged a 5% fee. The pirate team claims that the fee will be used as a reward to a random user address. However, the reward has never been sent out based on our inspection. This trick could be an excuse to stimulate token transfers in disguise. To identify this kind of tokens, we track all the transactions where scammers receive tokens as a third party. Thus, 63 advanced fee tokens are found. Now let's talk about the scam address the scammers control. A scam token is created by a scam token creator address. Then a scam pool creator address will create the liquid pool, add the liquidity, and wait for victims falling on it. Besides, we find many scam tokens have collusion addresses. The collusion addresses cooperate with other addresses to carry out scam campaigns. They are used to perform liquidity operations or just swap tokens to manipulate the token price. One major characteristic of the Collusion address is that they should have strong connections with other scam addresses. For example, if a known scam address have transferred some Ether to another address, then this address add liquidity to the scam pool. This address could be a Collusion address. This is one of our 4 heuristics we developed to detect Collusion addresses. We found over 41,000 Collusion addresses, and they are connected with 3,377 known addresses. We next perform an impact analysis on these scams based on all the transactions related to Uniswap. We track all the balance changes related to participants and calculate the value. In total, these tokens profit over $16 million from roughly 40,000 potential victims. The table below shows the top 10 profitable pools, and we find all these 10 tokens are imitations of existing blockchain projects. Here are the takeaway messages. In conclusion, uh, we propose a reliable approach for detecting scam tokens on Uniswap. We identify over 10,000 scam tokens and scam pools on Uniswap. We analyze the scam behavior, working mechanisms, and financial impacts of scam tokens. For the system designer or operators, it is urgent for them to design policies to warn users of high-risk tokens. For investors, they should rely on trusted sources like official sites to trade securely and check transaction history and contract codes before they investing. For DeFi project team, they should be aware of scam token abuse and take the responsibility and to remind their investors.